200 games, 3 promotions, and now legends of Welsh football are calling it elite-level management. But is Phil Parkinson about to face his biggest test yet? Alright Wrexham fans, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because we're covering the Red Dragons like nobody else, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming. 3 absolutely crucial stories today, and the last one, it's about the man who's transformed this football club from National League hopefuls into genuine Championship playoff contenders. Phil Parkinson's getting praise from some massive names in Welsh football, and we need to talk about what that means for Wrexham's future. But before we get there, 2 other bits of news that every Wrexham supporter needs to know about. Let's crack on. Story 1. Parkinson addresses squad roles. Right, first up, and this is massive for squad depth heading into the new year. Phil Parkinson's had a proper heart-to-heart with the entire squad about playing time, and he's confirmed that Jay Rodriguez and Andy Cannon are coming back into contention on January 1st. Now here's the situation. Neither of these lads has kicked a ball for the Red Dragons this season, not one single minute. Both have been struggling with injuries, and because of that, they weren't included in the 25-man squad list that Wrexham submitted to the English Football League after the summer transfer window closed. But Parkinson's making it clear, football changes quickly, and these boys are coming back. We've got Rodriguez, Andy Cannon, Ollie Rathbone, all desperate to get on the pitch, he said. And from January 1st, Rodriguez and Cannon will be back in the registered squad. Lewis Brunt's close to returning as well, along with Elliot Lee. Here's what I love about Parkinson's approach. He's used George Thomason as the perfect example of how quickly fortunes can change. Thomason had a nightmare start to the season because of injury, wasn't even making the bench, and then suddenly he's starting the next match, putting in a brilliant performance, and now he's right at the heart of Parkinson's plans. The gaffer's been realistic too. Players like Ryan Hardy and Connor Cody, big summer signings, have struggled for regular game time. That's the reality when you've got a squad this strong. So Parkinson's gathered everyone together ahead of the next 6 championship fixtures and delivered a message about unity. Everyone wants to play, that's obvious, but our strength during my time at Wrexham has been managing the frustration of not being in the team. If you're on the bench, you need to be ready to impact the game. If you're not even on the bench, your training standards have to be maintained. And that's the culture that's driven Wrexham's success, isn't it? Parkinson's emphasising that the lads outside the team can be just as important as those on the pitch. It's about strength, spirit and togetherness. Every club has players out of the squad, but it's how you manage that frustration that separates good teams from great ones. With injuries clearing up and competition heating up, January could be absolutely pivotal for squad rotation. Wrexham sit in 10th in the Championship, just 3 points off the playoff places, and having Rodriguez and Cannon back gives Parkinson genuine options he hasn't had all season. But that's not the only news coming out of the racecourse.
Something special started this week that'll change the face of Wrexham AFC forever. The club has officially begun construction on the new cop stand at the Stock Car race, and CEO Michael Williamson is calling it an extremely significant moment for the club and supporters. A ceremony on Thursday marked the start of full-scale construction of a brand new 7,750 capacity cop stand. When it's finished, the total capacity of the racecourse will jump to just over 18,000. That's enormous for a club that was playing National League football just a few years ago. The new stand is expected to be completed during the 2026-27 season, and alongside other planned works, it'll bring Wrexham Stadium up to full UEFA Category 4 standards. That means this ground will be ready to host international matches, elite-level football, and major entertainment events. The COP has always held huge significance, and today's ceremony marks the beginning of its long-awaited return, Williamson said. Over the coming months, supporters will see the structure take shape as we build a stand that increases capacity, improves facilities, and secures the future of the Stock Car race as a premier venue. Representatives from the club, Wrexham County Borough Council, McLaren Construction, the Welsh Government and Wrexham University were all present at the Thursday groundbreaking ceremony. This is a proper community effort. Think about what this represents. When Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney bought this club back in 2020, Wrexham was a National League side with a crumbling stadium and fading dreams. Now, we're talking about an 18,000 capacity ground that meets UEFA's highest standards. That's the vision becoming reality. And it's not just about capacity, it's about ambition. The racecourse ground is already the oldest international football stadium still in use, and now it's getting a modern upgrade that respects its history while preparing for the future. That new cop stand will be absolutely bouncing when it's finished, packed with Red Dragon supporters, creating an atmosphere that'll intimidate any team in the Championship. The Championship. Let that sink in for a second. Wrexham's planning infrastructure for life at that level and potentially beyond, because that's where this project is heading. Reynolds and McElhenney aren't messing about. This is long-term, sustainable growth, and it's happening right now. Now, those were big stories. Squad depth improving, stadium expanding, everything pointing upward. But what I'm about to tell you next is why this entire project works. It's about the man steering the ship. This could be the most important conversation we have about Wrexham's future, because without him, none of this happens. This is massive.
Right, here we go, the main event. And I need you to understand just how significant this is. Former Welsh international striker Sam Vokes has come out and said what every Wrexham supporter has been thinking for the last 3 years. Phil Parkinson's work at this football club has been elite level. Not good, not impressive, elite. Let's put this into context, because the numbers are genuinely staggering. Parkinson recently hit 200 matches in charge of Wrexham. In those 200 games, he's won 119 of them. That's a win percentage of nearly 60%. 3 promotions, 3 consecutive promotions, taking Wrexham from the National League all the way to the Championship, and now they're sitting 10th, just 3 points off the playoff places. Vokes, who knows proper football management when he sees it, didn't hold back on the Feast of Football podcast. He's a proper manager, Vokes said. The work he's done there has been elite. He's always had that pressure on him as well, because that expectation has always been there for Wrexham over the last few years. And that's the bit people outside this fan base don't always appreciate. Yes, Wrexham's got Hollywood owners. Yes, there's significant financial backing. Yes, the Welcome to Wrexham documentary has raised the club's profile globally. But none of that means anything without a manager who can handle the weight of expectation, who can build a squad culture, who can deliver results when the pressure's absolutely suffocating. Think about what Parkinson walked into back in the summer of 2021. A club that had been stuck in non-league football for over a decade. A fan base desperate for success, but scarred by years of disappointment. New American owners with massive ambitions, but zero guarantee they'd work out. And the entire world watching through cameras, documenting every single moment. Most managers would crumble under that. Parkinson, he's thrived. 3 promotions in 3 years. Let me repeat that because it's genuinely historic. 3 consecutive promotions from National League to League 2 to League 1 to Championship. Wrexham's rise through English football has been relentless, and Parkinson's been the constant driving force behind it. Vokes put it perfectly. To achieve 3 consecutive promotions, to take this club to where it is now, on the verge of Championship playoffs, that's fantastic work. They've got financial support, we've seen that, but the manager still has to be good enough to meet those expectations, and that expectation isn't easy. Here's what makes Parkinson elite, and this is where it gets really interesting. It's not just tactics, it's not just man management, it's the complete package. First, there's his ability to build squad harmony. We talked earlier about his message to the lads about playing time. That's not accidental. Parkinson's created a culture where players who aren't in the team stay professional, keep training at high standards, and are ready when their chance comes. George Thomason's story isn't unique at Wrexham, it's the norm. That's why they keep winning. Second, there's his tactical flexibility. Parkinson knows what he's good at. He's not trying to reinvent the wheel or play beautiful football that doesn't suit his squad. He sets teams up to be solid defensively, physical in midfield, and clinical when chances arrive. In the Championship, where it's brutal and unforgiving every single week, that pragmatism is gold. Third, and this might be the most underrated aspect, he's stable.
Parkinson surrounded himself with a coaching staff he trusts, people who've been with him for years. Former Welsh striker Iwan Roberts made this exact point. I would have loved to play in a Phil Parkinson team. He deserves all the recognition he's getting. That's high praise from someone who played at the top level. The challenge for Wrexham is keeping him. Not this season, probably not next season either, but if success continues, if the promotions keep coming, how long before a bigger club with more money and Premier League ambitions comes calling? Reynolds and McElhenney understand this. They've backed Parkinson financially, they've trusted his judgment on players, and they've given him the stability to succeed. But football's ruthless, and elite managers don't stay at championship clubs forever unless those clubs keep climbing. Right now, though, Wrexham supporters should be buzzing. Genuinely buzzing, because you've got a manager who former internationals are calling elite, who's delivering results beyond what anyone expected, and who's got this team believing they can compete at every level. The next 6 championship matches are absolutely crucial. Wrexham's got momentum, they're unbeaten in 8, and they're 3 points off the playoffs. If they can string together a few wins, if injuries clear up, and Rodriguez and Cannon come back strong in January, this season could become something truly special. Phil Parkinson has done elite work at Wrexham. The question now is, how much further can he take them? So, there you have it. 3 massive stories from the racecourse. Squad depth improving with Rodriguez and Cannon returning in January, the new cop stand construction underway to expand capacity to 18,000, and the main event, Phil Parkinson getting elite-level recognition from Welsh football legends for his incredible work transforming this club. Here's what I think happens next. Wrexham's going to keep this unbeaten run going. They'll stay in playoff contention through Christmas, and when January arrives, with fresh legs coming back strong, they'll make a proper push for the top 6. Parkinson's got the experience, the squad's got the belief, and the momentum is building. This is Wrexham's Hollywood story, but it's being written by a proper football manager doing elite-level work. From National League to Championship playoffs in 4 years. That's not luck, that's quality. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you confident Wrexham can make the playoffs this season? Do you think Parkinson's the right man to take us to the Premier League? Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Come on, you Reds!